Okay, got these 4 sub-assemblies ready to go. Got them dry fitted together basically. They're bolted, no glue or anything. The next stage that I'm going to go through is to take these bottom members off, keep them oriented the way they are. I guess the nice thing about having them countersunk is that the countersinks will be facing each other, so I'll know which way to go. But I got to keep them as mates. So these two together and these two, and then make those into boxes. So that's going to be my next step in this little adventure. Okay, so laying out these uprights or stretchers, I want to do something that's repeatable. So I have, this is a butted up against the end of the board. This is an 1.5 inch spacer. The board, I figured out that 19 3/4 inches between these two will work. So I'll be able to use this now as a reference surface. You know, I shouldn't make marks on these. I'll leave them like that for my domino. And I'll try to put, I think I'll just put in one. I think that'll be good enough. And then reference off this edge, put one here. And then when I do the other side, everything will be reversed, but I have a way of keeping everything in position. So I'm happy with this. Now I'll try and line these up. If they're not perfect, then I just come back here and just edge my domino whichever direction I need to slide the piece to the opposite side, and then create enough room rather than go in that full loose fit. I like to keep it as tight as I can. So I'll try and fit these and see how they turn out. Let's go over here. Alright, I got something screwed up here. I gotta check this out. Alright, I figured out what I did wrong here. I forgot to add the board as a spacer. I forgot to put this in here along with the 1.5 inch. So I'm gonna board off. I've got to plug these and reset. Stupid. Alright, after my screw up, I got things straightened out, but you can see here here's the plug and here's the plug. This one will be under the step. You won't see it. This one is in the back. And luckily I'm painting it so it will disappear, but it's still something I hate to do. Alright, I will, actually this is the, no yeah, this is the back. I will get the other one done. I'm going to cut these to length. I got to take about 1/4 inch off them, and then they'll fit. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back and see how they look all framed up here. Alright, after that mishap, everything looks good. squares up pretty nicely. So I'm happy with this. I'll do the other one. Looks good, but we have a problem. And I wasn't thinking, and that's why I get into trouble when I don't take time and think these things out. But there's two ways I can handle this. This distance in here needs to be 23.5 from here to here. Well, my pieces are a bit thick. They're not a genuine 3/4. And so I cut these to 22, but because these are fat, it's not 23.5. And here's what I've got. I got to get rid of that. So I slept on it. What I think I'm going to try first is just take this apart. And I've got my other frame here. Let me just show you what I'm going to do with this one. Here's the other one. I'm going to take and just run this on the joiner. Remove from that face and from this face. Just take the same amount off both sides. And then get this dimension to 23.5. That is flush. I am very happy. All right, that was a nice fix. Not something I wished I had to do, but I did it. So now I'm flush, or within a thousandths of an inch. I can definitely live with that. I did not expose my my dominoes. Good to go. Not bad for screwing up and getting it, saving a project, I guess. A lot of time. I will take this one back and assemble it. I'll take the other one off and do the same thing. 3 passes each side, and I was able to save myself a lot of heartache. And now the planets are all back in alignment. That is nice and snug. Perfect fit. So I've taken that's the old big, whew, I dodged a bullet. Okay, I'm happy again. So these will be going up here. Now you see I have just a little play, but that will be taken care of when everything gets tightened up. Alright. I don't know what's next, but I'm gonna put the other one together. I guess I can go to work on the arms. Even now. Nice and solid. And then once this gets tied together up on top, that'll even be more solid by these slats going across. Oh, that's the other thing I could go to work on too, is cutting these slats. I want to create a flat spot out here on the front of this piece. Let me see if you're seeing what I'm pointing at. So on the curve out here, this is flat. The first 1.5 inches is flat, and then it curves up, but I think I'm going to need to create a little bit of a flat here for the next one, and maybe the third one. And then from there on out, I think I'll be okay. So we'll figure that out too. These are in good shape. These could be flushed up just a little bit. I've got a bunch of slats cut, and what I need to do now is drill a bunch of holes, countersunk, centered on this, which is what I've done here, and then centered this way as well. So I'm going to lay those out, drill them out, and mount this first one. You can see I've got to tug that in to get that to hold, but I think that'll be alright, you know, once I get it on there. But then I want to get the first one done and then find out where I want to create this flat, and just kind of eyeball it. Again, I'll get the gap the same, make a center mark, and then go from there. So the first critical thing though is to get this first one mounted, then lay this out. I think the next one, I could probably do a flat for that as well. That won't take very much at all. But then the rest of the way, I think I'll be okay. Yeah, once I get to this point for sure. I might have to do 1, 2, 3, and maybe 3 of them. But I'll figure that out and let you know what I find out here. So, drill and countersink holes and go from there. One other thing I will show you, I've got it laid out. Let me go grab them quick. I do have the arms ready to go. And I'll give you these dimensions. 24-inch long, 4 inches wide, 2 inches from the inside edge to 12.5 inches from the back. Connect those dots, 12.5 to 2. And then out here is a 4-inch radius cut. And then this one also gets rounded over with a 1-inch radius. So, you know, I'll take the bulk of this off with the bandsaw. This could be cut with a taper jig. Probably be a good idea to get those all the same. So I'll figure that one out. But those are your critical dimensions. 2 inches up, 12.5 inches out, connect the dots, 4-inch radius, 1-inch radius. Alright, the first slat is going on. And what I did was I put this up here. First I created this ledge. Put this up here, flushed it up, made a dimple, drilled a pilot hole on this end grain. Now I'll put this one in. Now this one is just a hair long. There, now we're flush. Let's anchor this one and see where we are. pilot hole, so that shouldn't bother. Okay. That's good and solid. Then you take this off, I believe. Now the next one, we just need to locate that flat spot, take it off. I'll mark this one as number 1.